putting them in sports, telling them that's the only way. I think sports is the biggest leveler, isn't it? You lose more than you win. Do you believe that?
You don't lose, you don't win. I tell my children, get your education from school, learn communicative skills. But the most important thing in life is to travel and indulge in sports of any kind. When you travel, you meet people from different walks of life, religion, experience different cultures. And I have said this before, you learn to empathize with people. You know, there's a very famous quote that religion makes you hate people that you have never met before, which is so true. You know, we tend to form opinion about people, countries, different race, even before we have met them. It's like being a frog inside a well. So when you travel, you realize how small you are, how small the whole world is. And as far as sports is concerned, it teaches you how to handle success and failure with grace. It brings out your real personality, because they say that your personality is formed within the first few years of birth.
That's right, 6.
Yeah,
That's
first few, like maybe 4 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And then, so probably, you know, when you look at all these world summits, I mean, this is what I have come to understand.
Right.
We see all the world leaders indulge in a game of golf. It's probably to understand each other better through sports, to see how one handles success, or how one handles failure with.
That's true.
I mean, are they able to handle it with grace? So I think sports and traveling are very important aspects.
So you think I'm doing a decent job putting them in sports just to teach them that both fame and failure are both imposters at the end of the day, right? Don't take them too seriously, isn't it?
See, failure teaches you more than success does.
Yeah, for sure.
See, when we go through failure, bad times, through adversities, then I mean, we're God-fearing. We tend to be more careful with the decisions we make. We don't take impulsive decisions. You know, we're very careful with the way we go about life on a day-to-day basis. But it is when we are successful that one needs to be extremely cautious.
Yes.
Because they say success is like a wild horse. You know, it will let anyone hop onto it. But if you can't tame it, it will throw you off and wait for the next one to hop on.
Right.
So I think sports teaches you how to handle both success and failure with grace.
Of course, and you have done that actually in real life as well. That's impressive. And I think
you're being too kind.
Of course not.
I'm not yet there, but I'm trying to be a better person with every passing day.
Of course.
I do have my own flaws, shares of, I have my share of
But who
learning to
doesn't?
do.
But who doesn't, right? I mean, that's how I look at it. I mean, as long as we do better every day. And car racing is one sport, or any sport requires a mental strength. It's just about risk and rewards, right? When you are on the racetrack, what goes through your mind? Is it mental agility? Is it like sturdiness? What do you think is the biggest life hack or a skill that you need to have to survive on the tracks?
No, once you're inside the car, it's just that you follow your braking lines. There's only so much. You don't think beyond the car. You don't think beyond the track. And unlike any other sport, like in the films, you get one shot wrong, you have a retake. In tennis, your first serve, you fault your first serve, you have a second serve. In racing, there are no retakes. One brief moment of distraction.
That's true.
One mistake can maim you for life, can kill you. So, yeah, you need to be on it 20, I mean, all the time.
Do you practice, like, how do you get that kind of discipline? Because consistency is key for anything, but when it comes to racing, what do you think? Is it just like, do you need that space every day, or
Make
do
sure
you
you
train
hire the right people.
around
I
you?
mean, not just racing, any, it could be a business venture, any sport. You make sure you have the right kind of people. You have a coach, a driver coach, trainer, a spiritual person. I mean, you put a team together who guide you, who prepare you for what's up ahead, the challenges up ahead. You get one. There is a protocol that needs to be followed. So I tell people, if you choose to do something, do it properly.
Yes.
Don't do it half-baked, you know. You follow a protocol, follow a strategy. Winning, you can win, but you constantly need to keep your game up. For that, you need a lot of support from people, from family. Now, I can't be doing all this if I didn't have the support, love and support of Shalini and my children and my siblings, my parents. You understand?
Of course.
So it's very important that you let them know, let your loved ones know as to how badly you wish to pursue something, and seek their help as well.
Right. It's when you are on the racing tracks, your adrenaline is pumped up. But the people who are watching you, your loved ones, I'm sure their heart is in their mouth as well. How do you tell them, like, I've got this under control? Like, do you need to you have a conversation with
racing, them? Let me be specific, like racing. Everything is, be it your cars, everything. You have two kinds of risks, right? Like you have calculated risks and you have risks that you take. As far as racing is concerned, it's a lot more safer to be doing this on a racing circuit than being stupid on the road.
For sure.
You know, I see a lot of youngsters getting killed on the road. Not just getting killed, hurting others. Because of their irresponsible behavior, they put other people's life at risk as well. But when it comes to racing, we have a medical center here.
It's a controlled environment.
The cars and the vehicles are built in a way that on impact, it kind of protects the driver. You know, then the marshals are there to ensure that the car is cordoned off or the vehicle is cordoned off so that the other vehicles don't come on to it. And then you have the medics, and only they are allowed to come and
right.
Get the drivers out of the car.
Yes.
They kind of stabilize them.
Right.
Unlike in a road accident, somebody has an accident. Trying to be good Samaritans, 10 people come and pick you up.
Here it's not allowed to do that.
I know. See,
yeah.
that's a whole problem.
There's a rule
like
not
in
to
India,
touch them.
In India, that's not the case.
Yeah.
On most parts of the world,
yes.
people think they're being good Samaritans.
No,
when
no,
they
don't
see an
touch
accident
them.
victim on the road,
No.
they just go pick them up, put them in an auto. And if that person unfortunately has a spinal injury,
yes.
by doing so, you maim him for life. And it happened to a very close friend of mine.
Okay.
Who met with a car accident in Pune.
Yeah.
And the locals around thought they were being very kind and being good Samaritans, picked him up, and he had broken his vertebra.
Oh no.
And when they did that, broken vertebra severed his spinal cord, and the poor thing is he's now confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. I mean, so these are things that, we need to, I'm not trying to say we need to educate the people, but it needs to be told that you just don't run up to an accident victim on the road and just pick him up like a rag doll and shove him into an auto or a cab, wait for the medics to arrive.
Get the professionals.
And then they tend to give them water. Because if that person requires immediate surgery, you cannot perform surgery right away because he has consumed water. So the anesthetist wouldn't administer general anesthesia till such time that maybe for a couple of hours
No, it could cost them their life.
It could. So like I said, there's so many things that you need to be aware of. So I know racing can never be safe.
Yes.
Motorsports can never be safe. I mean, you had Ayrton Senna, one of the best drivers in the world, who was killed on the racing circuit. Does it mean he was not up to the mark? happens.
Okay.
I mean, Michael Schumacher had met with an accident away from the circuit while skiing. It's
Skiing.
something that he loved to do. So
It was the
I mean-
biggest.
I mean,
yeah. It was the biggest irony
these-
of it all.
These kind of things happen, but
Yeah.
I'm saying we need to be conscious and prepared for eventuality. So when I race, I'm not here thinking nothing would happen to me. Anything can happen. So I tell people, be sure what you want to do, because every choice has a consequence.
Right.
And you should be willing to face the consequence. So if I'm here racing or indulging in adventure, tourism, I wouldn't say like motorcycle tourism, which was...
It is in some way, right?
It can
today.
happen, accidents happen.
Yes.
So I know what the consequences can be if, you have good days, you have bad days. So I'm not saying chicken out, be a coward and not do it at all. Prepare yourself.
Lovely.
Get the right equipment. And I see a lot of people, especially since I now run a motorcycle touring company, I see a lot of people who invest a lot of money on fancy motorcycles,
Yes.
but they wouldn't spend money on a proper
Helmet.
riding gear like a helmet or... I tell my friends, I tell riders who come who wish to join us on cross-country rides, I tell them the cost of your riding gear, which includes your helmet or your boots, your gloves, should be at least 10 to 15% the cost of your motorcycle.
Fair enough.
I think that's a fair, way to look at it.
Right. Of course.
And it will help you save your life
Of course.
at a given day, on a
I
bad
know.
day.
That's true. Last question, do you like the roar of the engines or claps from the audiences in a cinema hall, or can you compare the adrenaline rush of both?
See, having asked me that question, I want to say a few things beyond cinema, beyond sports. Today with what's happening on social media, so much of it's so toxic.
Yeah.
We cannot feel it, and it is not just for celebrities. When I say celebrities, it's not just for people like us in the film business or in politics or in governance. Or I see it's spread through every sphere of society, which on the long run is not a healthy sign. It's not a healthy sign. Something needs to be done about it.
Filter out the hate, you mean?
I don't know. But something needs to be done. Who's going to bell the cat? Are the respective governments all over the world going to take a call on this? Are the social media platforms going to take a call? Do
They
something
feed off
about
it, right?
Because today mental health has become such a major issue
Yes.
world over. People are losing their mental health.
For
I
sure.
mean, we talk about good health. I mean, it's not just physical health that we talk about. It's not just about six-pack and having a great body. Mental health
Yes.
is so important. I see a lot of people losing it. And I want to tell my fans, look, life is short. You could be gone. We could all be gone.
Yes.
And like they say, our grandchildren won't remember our names. I don't know what my great-grandparents' names are.
Great guy. Yeah, you're right. I don't
You
either.
can only follow your family tree till a particular,
Yes.
to a particular generation. You can trace it to a particular. So which means like we will all be forgotten. Maybe our great-grandchildren will not even bother to want to know us or remember us. So what's all this fuss about? Why so much of hatred? Why is there so much of toxicity? Be happy for people. I'm always happy for people. I'm not trying to be self-righteous.
I like that.
Be happy for other people. If someone's doing well in life, be happy.
Yes.
Be happy for people, because I see people, extremely talented people, who don't get very well educated people. They have everything going for them, but somewhere they fall short in life. They don't get to where they need to be. Yeah? just saying, in Tamil there's a saying called Ennam Pol Varke. Ennam Pol Varke means what you think is what you are, or how your life is.
Okay.
So if you have good thoughts,
Yep.
so will your life be. Your life will be beautiful. You breed negative thoughts back. So will your life will be just the way you think.
Right.
And then there's another question of being ambitious.
At what cost?
No, sometimes when I tell people you should be ambitious, but make sure that your abilities match up to your ambitions.
Yeah, for sure.
Or try to develop your skills to match your ambitions. And there are some people who are extremely talented, phenomenally talented, but not ambitious at all. I think there needs to be a balance between the two. No, I'm sorry if I've come across as someone who's trying to preach, but I think I pray to the Almighty that all this hatred, all this, it comes to an end.
Vitriol,
I think
just
it's going.
pure venom.
I think one fine day things will blow out of proportion, where it is going to affect every single individual in this world. So media. I mean, you're from the media house.
Yeah. Yes.
I think when something happens, I think the media also needs to take responsibility for what happened. Because we celebrities are blamed. When something happens, celebrities are blamed. People in the governments are blamed. Everyone is blamed.
So
but
even fourth estate should.
I think the media and the people also need to take accountability.
For sure. I'm with you.
In making sure that the world is a better place to live in.
Of course.
I mean, the least we can do is don't trespass other people's space. Be territorial. Don't trespass. Work hard. Play hard. Don't bother about what the other person is doing.
Yes.
I mean, how is it going to help you? Focus on your life. I tell my fans, watch films, everything is fine. But Ajit Varga, Vijay Varga, Ninga po vada poring. When are you going to do it?
I think that was a lovely thing you told
I'm
fans.
very grateful to the love that you have all given me. But please look after your life.
I love that.
I'd be a very happy man when I get to know that my fans are also doing very well in life.
Excellent.
And when they're nice and kind to my peers, my co-stars, and they have nice things to say, nice words to say.
Of course.
Again, life is very short. Our great-grandchildren are not going to remember us. So just keep this in mind. Live for the day.
Yes.
Don't look at the past. Don't look at the past and worry about what could have been. Don't look ahead and worry about would this happen. Live for this moment. Live for now, because one day we will all die. One day we will all die, and that's the truth.
Yeah, that's the sad reality. But you're living it so fully.
Let's all work hard, play hard, and be happy. Stay healthy, not just physically,
mentally.
Love you all.